Hi, this is different. We need to get intro music.
Yes, we do.
Hey,
It's
Jerry.
very somber, a very somber opening,
It was
actually.
very, very serious for
Yes.
once. Oh, what's
Yes.
going on, dude? You doing okay?
Oh, no. Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
I'm glad to be back in the batch era. Yet another
Yes.
batch era. Brian popping in. Here we go.
Yes.
Brian, listen, Brian the other day was wondering, inquiring minds wanted to know if which is it's between Scotty and I, who was a top, who was a bottom. And now you get now you get the layout and
You'll get
everything.
the
So,
answer.
yeah,
The answer
your
you've all been
answer is
waiting
right
for.
here. Yeah.
Oh, in all seriousness, no. We're very excited to be here to talk about Bad Batch. And we've got some
Yes.
hot takes right from the beginning.
Yeah.
For anyone that knows us and knows us well. And this is also a different way of going live. What do y'all think of this? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Be honest. We
Yeah.
got 3 people watching. I haven't checked Instagram
Where's all
yet.
our Zoomers? How are
we
our
should
Zoomers
be-
feeling tonight?
We should be live on Instagram as well. Let me double check if that's the case. I don't know. I think we are.
We sound like 60 years old right now. We should be live on Instagram.
We're live on
the
Vaughn
Instagrams.
Live. No, Instagram, we're not live. I don't know why, but I set it all up. That's okay. That was worth a try. Wait, hold on.
I was live whenever the first Instagram was sent.
Wait a minute. I clicked start broadcast. Maybe it is live on Instagram.
Over
Let's
radio
see.
wire.
Oh, we are live on Instagram. How cool is
What?
this? We're live on Instagram.
Weird.
What?
Oh, now I gotta do it.
That is so
What
cool.
is going on?
Wow.
Weird. Listen, this is why you guys come here. Okay.
Katie, that's what I was telling you. We are vortical. You're vortical.
Wow!
Yeah,
Look at
we're
that.
live on
Look at that.
Instagram. Whenever we get to TikTok,
Wild.
I'm going to be very excited. But speaking of, please, by all means, if you haven't yet, we want to get to 1,000 followers. We're going to go live on there as well. We won't always go live in this format from here on out. This is something we're experimenting with for Bad Batch coverage. And if we see it's not successful, we won't keep doing it. But that's just the fun part of testing and experimenting with these things. And plus, we want to be able to clip these things out and be able to put them on our TikToks and put them on our other social spaces. Because we want more people to join the Bombad fam besides just a couple. Like, look, it says right here, you guys are really small. If you keep the live chat open, okay, thank you for letting us know. And Gannon, Patrick, this is a little trippy. I will admit that is a little different.
It is, but you love it. Admit it.
Yes.
You love it. Listen, you can be as lazy as possible. You don't have to turn your wrist or anything. I'm gonna get back in the frame here. It's just to get used to, something to get used to. But listen, the wave of the future is this.
Yes.
We're not going to be left with the granddaddies, at the nursing home.
Not yet.
We have to. We're
adapt.
Diversifying our content as well.
That's right.
Because that only means good things for all of you. That only means
of course,
more Bombad content. I mean, and what more could you want?
Well, like this. So to give a little bit of backstory, we used to do a Patreon exclusive live show when we covered Andor, and we saw that the numbers for those episodes weren't as great as we had wanted them to be. So we thought, well, might as well make this experience for everyone in a different format. And so, like I said, big experiment here. We're seeing if this works. We're going to look at the data. If you don't like it, then I completely get it. You let us know. Like Patrick said right here, nurse me back to the horizontal. I don't blame you. That's completely fair. Or
listen, sir, you have to buy me dinner first. Okay.
Oh, that's good. Understand. I want to go to is the one from Bubba Hotep. I don't know what that is.
I know what Boba Hotep is. I haven't seen it. Brian, please don't unsubscribe.
Yes. And also, we also have other social pages as well. If you haven't followed us yet, Bombadcast Facebook, Bombadcast Instagram, Bombadcast Twitter, obviously, and of course, TikTok, Bombadcast on my head covering a little bit. But all that being said, Jerry, Bad Batch.
Yeah, that last bit says cast. That's if you can't see
for those that don't know. Jerry, what did you think of our return? And do you have any hot takes you want to share before we go any further?
Do we kind of talked a little beforehand? Do we want to share that hot take or what? Because like my hot take is just that I didn't forget how much I love the Bad Batch. It's just I was able this morning to remember how much I love basking in the warmth of what this show is. And it's not
Oh,
very
yeah.
there's a lot of really like, serious stuff in this.
Mhm.
But but I don't it's got a lot of it's got that spirit of Star Wars.
Mhm.
It's got a little bit of everything, right? It's maybe a little slower burn, but I really kind of dig that personally.
So to me, it's like the melding of Rebels and Clone Wars. It's got family, but it's
Yeah.
also got some cool canon moments. You've also got there's some ruthlessness in these two episodes that I was very surprised by with one of the characters. There's also some really good tones of like family problems. You know what I mean? Like I
Yes.
really enjoyed, the struggle that what happened whenever Omega overheard Echo, and mixed intentions of what certain
Oh my
things
god.
said.
Yeah.
It became more of a sitcom's not the right word because it's not really a comedy, but every episode, at least with these first two and previous season, have all felt very like, someone says something, let's figure this out. The whole episode hinders on what that one person said or that one mission or one person's outlook. And we got a lot more Echo, which I'm very happy about. That was one of my bigger complaints
That
too.
was a
Is
big thing from
yeah,
last year. Everyone was
yeah,
like, we didn't get hardly any Echo
mhm,
development in
yeah.
this.
But literally this one episode, he had a whole arc. Hold a whole
Well,
arc.
he and Tech, who were kind of sidelined, it felt a little bit
Hmm.
last season.
Yeah,
They were put on the like right on the front line. Like we got a lot of
yeah.
interesting stuff. Like seeing Tech with like the injury in the second episode was I
Oh,
was not interesting. It was a little nerve wracking, a
yeah.
little bit.
I agree.
But
Felt
yeah,
like a Nemec a little bit. You're like, oh
yeah.
god, you're
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah. I
ugh.
saw someone posted something. I forget who. Is like Nimic would like to have a chat with Bad Batch or
Yes.
something.
This is good too. Sean says right here, this is fantastic. The new armor is pretty nice. It's like a whole
Yes.
new character model too. It's not just armor. Their hair's a little bit different. Everyone's looks a little bit different, and everyone like Omega looks awesome,
Oh,
fantastic looking. But
perfect.
yeah, I will. I can guess we can share a quick hot take here. Um,
Let's get the hot take, Scotty. What's the hot take? Pull yourself up big. All
and
right.
we got about 12 people watching. Thank you everyone for watching right now. This is a different format. I know it's different than what you expect, but I like it more than Andor. I'm so I know it's weird, and people are gonna be like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" But like,
Well, they're gonna be like, he's not. He's not a scholar. This man literally teaches the youth of
but it's
tomorrow.
like, but maybe that's why I like it. Maybe because it's a little bit more digestible. Maybe it's a little bit more. I've been sitting by Star Wars Explained. What's going on,
Oh,
Emma?
welcome,
Welcome. That's
welcome,
great.
Emma.
Alex is a good friend of ours. We've done a lot of work
Yeah.
together with Alex
Thanks
and
to
Molly.
thanks to Alex and Molly for the shout out. If
Shout
that's why
out.
you're here,
A
appreciate that.
stream snipe, if you will. No, and all that being said, though, it is a hot take that I do like this more than Andor, but I think it's because it's a return to form. And you said earlier before we even went live that there was something you
Oh,
really like.
Alex
Look,
is in the chat too. What?
Alex is here hanging out.
What's
Look
up,
at this.
Alex? How you
Well,
doing, dude?
I was literally texting him last night. That's awesome. Thanks for coming by, Alex. But oh look, Yannick. Yannick's here too. Oh, look at all these new Bombad
Whoa! Look at all
fans. This
you.
is great.
Welcome. Listen, welcome. We're
Welcome.
just excited to
Welcome.
be here. We're excited to vertically be with you.
Yeah, it's
All
very
here.
different.
We're gonna keep
We're-
referencing it. At least this episode. At least this
Yes,
episode, we're gonna keep referencing
it's
that we're in a
different.
box.
We're in a
Yeah.
box, but like a hot dog box. And all that being said, I think I've said it
Like
enough.
from the gas station. Like we're
But
we're like a couple of taquitos from the
that's right.
gas station. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Delicious,
I
but we
will
might give you indigestion.
I will say it again. I've liked it more than I liked.
More than Andor.
I liked it more than Andor because and every episode of Andor, except for the finale, I always left feeling like a little bit like, oh, like it always feels a little bit like you feel the weight of the
Yeah.
empire on you, whereas this show it always feels like you can overcome any of the problems. And like the best
Right.
part is Echo. The whole episode's like, hey, we can take this and use it for good, not just for our personal use. And I'm like, this can get us out of the problems. We have to go back and fight the bigger fight. And I mean, I don't know. Well, how do you feel about all that? Did you like it more than Andor? I know it's silly, but I woke up, I was refreshed. I felt refreshed after watching this show.
That is
and
a
not
great
many
way to
shows
put it.
can do that.
That's a great way to put it because I felt like that as well. Yes, Emma. Emma, pull the comment up real quick.
Of course.
I've always felt a little exhausted after Andor. I just feel excited after Bad Batch. Yeah. And again, Andor is, we're not saying we hate
I loved Andor
at all. No, I love, but again, what's cool about Star Wars is you got so many different levels. You can do all these different things, and Andor by design is supposed to be oppressive and heavy. You're supposed to feel the boot. That is, and I made a thread about this and everything, kind of like I am the canon junkie. I love to like watch through this stuff multiple times a year.
Canon rewatch. Yeah, bring that up because I forgot about that.
And right, well, and so I got to the dark times, and on Disney Plus, they have Andor right before Rogue One. And, but technically the first season of Andor takes place right around the same time as like the first season of Rebels.
Yeah.
Right. But how I watched it this time was I got done with Kenobi, which is hopeful, but that's also very heavy. It's a very not stressful. Kenobi was an emotional thrill ride.
Yes, very emotional. I agree.
So Bad Batch to Kenobi to Andor, you really feel that ramp up to the boot coming down on your head.
That makes sense.
Andor is the boot pushing you into the dirt.
Yeah.
And then you go into Rebels thinking, here, okay, I'm tired. Like you're about to throw that person off of you and just start marching towards changing everything. It's that's the decline into, like, Rebels is the decline into the original trilogy, into the rebellion, into we're fighting these bastards. We're gonna get, like Marva said, I'd get up early and be fighting these bastards. But no, so all that being said, I think you're right. I kind of feel the same way because, again, I was very just delighted to be like there's the I took notes. I didn't take notes on Andor. Like, again, like I remembered everything in Andor because it was trauma. I kept, like, every time I heard a loud noise, I would duck my head like a TIE fighter was flying by, because Andor was so good in, like, making you scared of every little thing you've known your whole life. But you had, like, all this, like, from the incredible Kevin Kiner score, right? Like, by the way, Kevin Kiner should, like, everyone says this, Kevin Kiner should, like, do a live action film.
I agree.
Like, let him score one. This man's, like, I was just, like, delighted with, like, the way he works the Bad Batch theme into it. Like, the Bad Batch theme is becoming more, like, even more iconic by the day, in my opinion. Like, that mixed with that Omega kind of overture. I love the Omega overture that goes along with it. But yeah, no, you've got, like, the adventure. Like, it starts off like balls to the wall, right? Like an insane, like, and this is the sequence that we saw at Celebration.
Yeah, because little backstory, Jared and I happened to go to the actual panel live whenever they had it. So it was we got lucky. We got to sit towards the front. We watched the full thing, and I'll never forget sitting there because we watched the Clone Wars season 7 panel in Celebration 2019 together too. So it's been like animation. I don't know what it is, but him and us have always.
It's one of our jam.
Animation. Why? So I guess it's very Bombad of us. I mean, that's
because animation was the first place where they started blending stuff from the movies that hadn't been together yet. That, like, you had stuff from the original trilogy meeting the prequel trilogy, meeting not as much the sequel trilogy, but, like, you had all of that combining in animation first.
I agree.
They didn't want to try it on screen, and now we've got it. And, like, people will say, like,
Mando
cameos, in live action stuff. But I think that, like, cheapens what it is so much. It's what's up, Star Wars Sublight?
Sublight
joining us.
Great name.
But no, yeah, it's Star Wars animation has a magic to it where, like, especially Clone Wars and all this, it has the same feel. It has the magic. It still has the magic of Star Wars. It doesn't feel any less. It doesn't feel any less valuable.
So
than the
wait,
film.
watching Bad Batch. Okay, this is the best way I can put it. I'm gonna put myself up big for this one. And for those
Please do.
maybe haven't had this realization, like I said earlier, and Jerry said earlier too, Andor has its own flavor, its own taste, its own feel. Mando has its own bookable effect. I mean, all Kenobi, all these shows have their own approaches and own feels. But like, do you remember how you felt when you watched Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and Luke run through the Death Star and to meet Obi-Wan and to run into the Falcon? That energy, to
Yeah.
me, that is how Bad Batch feels. And I mean that wholeheartedly. It feels
Yeah.
like the whole episode feels like you've got this great sense of camaraderie, or even the camaraderie in episode 9. I love seeing all
Yeah.
those characters jam packed together for like a whole hour and a half long sequence from Pisana all the way until they get to what's the snow planet called?
Kijimi.
Kajimi. Like, I loved all that. Even when they raid that Star Destroyer, like those
Yeah.
are the moments that work for me. And unfortunately, at least from what I see, and this is not a dissing on Andor's show, but Andor was a lot about a single person having to convince other people to be, to rise up, to be bigger people. Whereas with Bad
Right.
Batch, it's characters playing off characters. It kind of has an Avengers feel because you almost have to think, well, what is that person thinking of? What's going on? Look at this. We got a super chat.
Whoa.
This is awesome.
Thank
Super chat, I
you.
want Delta Squad. And honestly, I think we're gonna get that. I think because we know for a fact that screeners went out for this show, but we know the last 2 episodes were not sent out. So I think, I'm not saying it's gonna build a Delta Squad, but we got a big tease with Delta Squad at the very end of the last season with Mount Tantus and everything going on there too. But we will definitely.
And they released the episode titles. They released the episode titles, so we know we're getting there. Sorry, bring up AZ. Bring up AZ. Yep. Also, thank you, Thanura. Thank you for the super chat. I wrote in my notes because I've been wondering since AZ made it on the ship. Yeah. Right? Like his power went out, and I was like, is AZ? Where's AZ? Is he okay? Is he safe? And here he is. He's hanging out there with my boys, Ketch and Bolo, right? Yep. Like Ketch and Bolo are still hanging out in the bar. And he's just serving drinks now, which I want to. So I want AZ to go on a mission with them. I want AZ to go on a mission with the batch. And Pie in the Sky dreams, this may not happen for another season or 2, but if Bolo and Ketch are still there, Ketch and Bolo. And if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, it's the Weequay and the Ithorian who are hanging in there betting on whether Omega can hit the target and stuff like that. Those guys are, and they were actually in the Clone Wars season 7. They were in the prison with I don't think it's been confirmed, but it's the same exact character models.
Yeah.
Blue eyes and everything. Like they both have really distinctive eyes. I'm just I'm in love with Ketch and Bolo for some reason. My pie in the sky is I want Ketch and Bolo. I'm getting so sweaty right now. I want Ketch and Bolo to go on I want them to go on a mission with the batch as well. I want them to get dragged in or something. Like they're out for a cruise. They're like, oh no, we gotta help them, I guess.
But it's funny.
Maybe they have the Cockney accent. I don't know if they have the same Cockney accent that the other Weekways have or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, and maybe this is just me. I like watching those characters because they almost have their own little mini arc too throughout this whole series.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is okay for those that don't know, most of the things I
Yannick.
like. Yes, exactly. I love a good buddy adventure. Bad Batch feels kind of like a buddy adventure. It's everyone hanging out, but that's amazing.
It's a little bit of that. It's a family. So I said last season, it's Full House in space during Nazi Germany. Yeah, or Full House during Nazi Germany,
but in space.
In space.
Yeah,
but in space. That's what it is.
But it's funny because
it's so much better than that.
You take a show like Bad Batch and you've got so much potential for certain things to happen. And one of the ones I didn't expect was going back to Count Dooku's, lair, I guess his house, that I didn't realize overlooked all of Sereno.
I didn't expect it so soon. I didn't, because you see the window, the iconic
trailer.
Window now in the trailer, and we were everyone. I remember friend of the show Charlie Ashby, Diaz, Nikki Kumar, all of them be like, That's is that Evan Sereno? That's fucking Sereno right there. That's the that's Count Dooku's castle.
First episode, so weird.
It's the
Didn't
first
expect it either.
like Castle Sereno. Like, oh, you want us to go to Castle Sereno and pick up what was it? Dooku's war chest.
Yeah,
right?
But wait, this too, and you'll like this for a canon reason. But there's reasons why now that some of these prequel planets aren't showing up in the original trilogy, are not known in the original trilogy, and
because they got effing
bombarded. Yes, and I'm sitting there going, "This is such good canon because this can even excuse things like they said Topeka City, perfect example. Sereno now. I'm sure they'll even do that with other planets that we've been to and traveled to, and I guess the great Star Wars lore. But like that's how you do that without wasting time on it. They're just like, oh my god, this place must have got hit by an orbital bombardment as well, just like Camino. And I'm like, this is just so good.
And frankly, I want to see like it adds layers because it's that petty bitch who loves the sloppy bitch who loves drama that is Sheev Palpatine.
Yes, right? Yes.
He's such a he's so petty that he we see that with Operation Cinder. We got like before the sequel trilogy was done. You know, we got a lot of stuff about Operation Cinder about like I'm gonna burn all these planets who fought me to the ground.
That's right.
You know, we'll see what you're doing then. You know, like that's Sheev Palpatine. And now he's like, no, okay. Destroy Topeka. Let's destroy the cloning facility. Wipe Dooku's city off the map. It's very you can hear him wipe out like Dooku's city. I don't even bring me his money and then blow it all to hell. You know, it's very Palpatine. It adds a lot to it, and it like you're saying, it adds a lot of like, why aren't we seeing this stuff? And it makes me kind of sad. Yeah, knowing that some of this stuff isn't around in the universe. I mean, obviously Sereno still is, right? It's just it's that capital city and Dooku's castle that got absolutely ransacked.
It's also cool because you even take that idea, right? He's wiping out his past. Dooku's trying to make up anything. I'm sorry. Sidious doing anything he can to wipe out what he did. Literally Kylo Ren, kill the past, right?
It's not even like cutting the loose ends and like it's not even like tying up loose ends. It's completely burning the rope.
Yes, literally.
Like I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing. There's literally nothing.
That never existed.
Ruins? That's not. You think I had something to do with those ruins?
This is where it's cool, and this is something I thought about too. We got a great show like Tales of the Jedi, which tell us that Count Dooku would stand up for Sereno because he stood up for that little town that was getting destroyed by that senator. Remember that?
Well, back in that time.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. He had his hubris, I guess, everything about him, what he used to stand for, ended up getting, broken down even further. And I'm like, this is just like he became the thing he hated. And that's what I love about that. I love that. Like you're showing that war. Even when it says,
she's always a widow, never a divorcee.
That's so true.
They're under his driveway, all of them. Every last. I don't know where they went.
Died. We don't know how.
Oh, my ex-wife is gone. My ex-husband too. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But like you get these little visual cues, you get all these changes, and like, I'm happy it wasn't the TK stormtroopers. We didn't, I'm happy it was clone troopers. And it shows what I love about Bad Batch 2 is it shows them using the actual tasing, whatever it's called, the stun blaster.
They're really trying hard.
Yes,
they're really trying hard.
Except for Wrecker. Wrecker was like,
no, but that can't. He mainly so they'll do what they can to take out like what they, like you got to use the big guns on like a V-wing and things like that. But so this is something I kept thinking in my head. Are we we're gonna see this season? I feel like when they finally have to cross that line. We're gonna see where they have to make the hard choice that we have to switch to kill.
Yes,
because it's not working anymore.
Nope.
But you see, they are trying. They're trying very hard. They're using smoke bombs. They're like all through these 2 episodes.
Whole episodes.
They're trying so hard. And I'm not saying I think they should give up their ideals. I think they should try to do what they can for their their brothers and stuff. But it's I just have a feeling, a gut instinct that that's where we're kind of heading,
Mm-hmm.
is because it was so prevalent in this episode. It's like,
Oh
I
yeah,
think we're going to have to see um, when they have to use kill,
yeah.
and they,
Well,
they
it's gonna
have,
it
they
has to
have.
be the TK troopers, at least to me. And oh, this is great. Yes, and I could look at this, Emma.
Yes.
You're a part of the Bombad fam. You're making such good points this
Welcome.
evening.
Welcome, Emma.
I love how easy it is to tell the difference between the stun and the kill functions. Great, yes, because and I think it even is in A New Hope where Leia gets hit by the stun. It's a
She
circle.
gets the blast and
Yeah,
everything.
she
Yeah.
gets the circle
It's
blast as
very
well.
prominent in, they do
Mhm.
it so well in this animation though.
Yeah,
Like
they
it's,
really do.
yeah, because you don't see it very much in the films,
Mm-mm.
right?
The
Like,
lighting.
honestly, it's A New Hope and Last Jedi, right?
Yep,
I
that's
don't think we
exactly
see,
it. Those
yeah,
are the
Ryan
two. I'm
Johnson,
trying
not
to
a Star Wars fan. Come on. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Those of you who are new, we fucking love Ryan Johnson.
yeah, we
Excuse
worship
my
him.
language.
But no, it's so cool to be able to take in a new season of this show because with the last season there was some growing pains, not for the viewer, at least maybe some
Yeah.
of you might have felt that way, but like I don't know. I watched the show. I'm like, well, I'm only excited for where they can go and what they pull off. And like
Yeah.
the part where they're in the old the battle droid tanks, and they're pulling them out the separatist tanks, and they're trying to rig that up. And then you've got Echo fixing that guy's little memory bank. And I'm like, this is
Yeah.
just like it's
By the way,
so many moving parts. I love it.
oh, it's so, yeah, it's got that, like, and I mean, Andor did very well, I think, with like dividing the action
Hmm.
among all
Yeah.
of its characters.
Yeah.
And again, we love Andor, but we're kind of enjoying Bad Batch is back to that Star Wars magic and fun, that
Hmm.
excitement.
Hmm.
But no, so Wrecker MacGyvering that
Oh,
canon to work
so
was so
cool.
fun.
So cool.
I loved that. I
Hmm.
loved that he and again, we talked about earlier, Hunter and Wrecker kind of took a back seat in this one a little
Yes.
bit. They
Yes.
were still a part of it, but it felt like the emotional focus was on Echo, Tech,
Mhm.
and Omega,
Well,
which
Omega
was
to me,
interesting.
Omega was the plot point, and I think it might have
Well,
been
she's the heart of
Alex.
the show.
Well, it was
So,
Alex earlier. I listened to Alex's
I
review, and
mean, there you go.
he said his favorite part was when Omega was stuck with either getting the treasure or escaping. Right? Like
Right.
we can get out of this if I just had this one bag of stuff. And he made the parallel on one of his reviews earlier that it was because it felt like Indiana Jones. It felt like what's the last one called? Not the
Rated
Last
or
Crusade.
Last Crusade.
Yeah,
No,
where
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, soon to be Dial
sorry,
of
that's right.
Destiny.
That's right.
Sorry.
But Last Crusade has that moment where Indy's like, "We've got the Holy Grail right here," and he's like, "Jonesy, we gotta go." And I'm
That
like,
was a
"That's
very good, by the way. That was a
really
very good Sean
thanks,
Connery.
appreciate it,
The beginning, I felt like
Jonesy."
Sean Connery was in the room with us, for a second
Can't
there.
stand you. But there's that moment, right? There is that father-daughter moment, and I know you can relate to this a lot, but I love the like they're all having to be kind of parents to this child, their adoptive
Like,
kid,
it's
but they see
Omega
her
and
as
her 4 dads, for
but they
real.
see her as an equal now, as opposed to the
Yes.
last season, way more of an equal. The last season was very much like, "You're just a kid, you need to stay in the ship." But now they're letting her learn, they're letting her be
Yeah.
more a part of the crew. When she's on the little chain thing, bowing all those,
That
I
whole
love
sequence
it.
was so effing cool. It
So
was so
fun.
cool.
I know.
Like, just like, oh my God. So I have to just real quick a shout out again. So, like, yes, those of you who are just joining us, I am a girl dad. I have a 5-year-old,
Yes. Yes.
blonde little 5-year-old. And just like I see so much of her in Omega and vice versa.
Yeah.
So this show kind of has a special place in my heart and everything. Again, people joke and call it the dad batch and things like that, but it's got a lot of those themes. Um, and something that and you can pull me back because I want to have a conversation about this.
Of course.
This is my hot take, honestly. I think Michelle Ang is giving us one of the best, if not it's the best performance we've had in animation yet.
Oh, wow. That's a very bold statement. I don't disagree,
Michelle
though.
Ang. Michelle Ang is you know how when you have like someone who's clearly an adult trying to play a child,
Mhm.
and it comes across as like, I'm doing my kid voice a
Mhm.
little bit. Again, like we did a lot of good, like Freddie Prinze Jr. did a
Yeah.
little bit of that in the last season of Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not knocking it and everything, but Michelle, and I'm not even talking about her tone of voice. Michelle Ang gives Omega such a true, earnest genuineness of a
Mhm.
child.
I agree.
And I'm not like, but yet still, she's again still very smart, still very resourceful. Still, I mean, kids are.
Yeah.
People like kids are dumb, but yeah, kids are also very smart and resourceful. Kids are
God,
also
way smarter.
brave,
Mhm.
stupidly brave.
Yep.
You know, they're like, again, she goes out to do this because she wants to make up for what she feels like she's wronged the crew,
Mhm.
which is heartbreaking. And that, like, that talk with her and Omega, I'm in tears at the end of each episode of the Bad Batch, because usually it's she sits down with one of her dads and or
I love
slash
it.
brothers,
Every time. Every
and
time.
they have a talk. It's the Full House hug moment.
Uh-huh.
They always
Every
sit down,
time.
and the lesson learned. But I like everything, like from the just the way that she says, yeah, that was fun though.
Mhm.
Like the delivery, I think that Michelle Ang gives one of the best performances in all of Star Wars animation, and
That's
that's
bold.
my
That's a good
opinion.
take, though. Well, you gotta
But I
think
feel like it's
too,
the truth.
you've got
Yes,
a
Emma.
very
Yes, she embodies the innocence, curiosity, and hope of children.
perfectly
Absolutely.
said. Perfectly said, because I was gonna say, you've got
It
contrast with D.
doesn't feel
Bradley
artificial.
Baker. D. Bradley Baker's playing every character besides Rampart, you know?
It says D. Bradley
Even
Baker as the Bad Batch.
yes. But what was, who was the new clone that they showed today? The one,
So we have Captain Wilco and
D.
everything.
Bradley Baker.
A
Like,
lot
it's
of really
like
good new characters in just these first 2
and
episodes.
for those, I wanna say this real quick, for those that haven't yet, if you can, go follow our TikTok right now because I posted a video from when Jerry and I were at Celebration
Yes.
of
You
D.
hear us
Bradley
crying.
Baker and Michelle Ang of them doing a actual script read. So that's out there, and you can see
Like
D.
on stage,
Bradley
yeah.
Baker work. You can see him work through it, and I agree though. It's like you've got such a difficult task with balancing all these characters, each giving them a moment, but Omega
Yes.
always gets the good moments. Like they
Always.
save the most pure moments for her. And it's obviously very real, it's very raw. One of the most shocking moments in the show is the return of Cad Bane last season. And for her to watch, for her to watch
Oh god. To watch
Hunter
Hunter
almost get
gunned
killed,
down.
I was like,
Well, and you gotta think, she doesn't know he got back up.
no,
That's
no,
that's heartbreak. She doesn't know he got back up. So
not at
whenever
all.
she like catches, like sees him again, that hug,
Mhm. Oh,
just every inch of this with Omega. And like right now, so I have it playing on the TV across the
okay.
room here. It's where and we need to talk about, I want to talk a little bit about Romar Adele
Okay.
in a minute. But when Romar, the old man who they kind of get hooked up with here, gives her the kaleidoscope
Oh,
essentially,
so
and
cool.
it was the same kind of moment that made me fall in love with Omega in the first season, where she gets out and sees dirt for the first time.
Yep.
It was so, and again,
Well,
it didn't feel stupid or genuine. It felt genuine. It
it's a
felt
toy.
right. When
No,
she's
he's
like,
giving her a
"Oh, are there
toy.
gems in here?" Like it didn't feel like she
Uh-huh.
was dumb. It just felt like, wow, I have not experienced the world,
Yep.
and just like, and again, this is she's, I think, like what, like 12 or
Mhm.
around there, maybe,
I think so.
if that. And you forget, like, when you're 12, you're still very much a child.
Oh, yeah.
And like, just to have that, like, I'm trying to remember the exact line. Um, oh, it's a total, like, he's like, she doesn't know what it is, and he's trying to explain to her. He's like, "Oh, blast!" It's a toy. It's supposed to make you happy. It makes you happy, and believe me, that's more valuable than any jewel.
Oh,
Um, that's what I
but
love. Romar's got some really great
that
moments, played by Mr. Hector Elizondo of
okay.
Pretty Woman fame and
Look at
Princess
you,
Diaries and
Jerry.
things like
You
that.
did your
I
research.
did my
Oh,
research, and I whenever I
wow.
found out it was this guy, I was like, "Oh, he's that character actor that
I know you
you know. He's one of those character actors that you may not recognize the name. You see the face, and you're like, "Oh, it's him. It's that
oh
guy."
my god. Okay, well, I'll
And I
pull a
was thinking,
photo.
this voice is so familiar. I feel like this is a good cameo.
Hold on.
But
This is a
anyway,
great cameo. I was gonna share my my screen for those that do not know what he looks like, and this may be a better view of it.
Yes,
Hold on, let me get it.
Hector Elizondo. Again, there we go.
God,
Yeah, see, he's been basically, this man's been in everything.
Yes. What an icon.
He's
Yeah.
literally in everything. From like Lifetime original movies to big blockbusters. I mean, Pretty Woman. And
God,
like
that's
that.
awesome.
Yeah. Also, he does a lot of voice work and everything. He does
I didn't
a
realize
lot
that.
of voice work. Yes.
But wait, that line though, and we have a bunch of friends that collect professionally. Josh and Andy at Hollow Chronicles, good friends of ours. They collect professionally. I know our buddy Pete collects helmets. We got some friends that collect books. That line was a straight up just like, whatever you like to collect. Well, I'm just looking at things around right now. I like collecting the retro figures that have been look at the prototype ones, right?
Yeah.
They're worth more to me than like my school yearbooks. I know that's silly, but like,
no, it's not. It's exactly not.
That's the thing. It's what they make you feel, you know?
And it's not even that. Like the whole point of that, the thesis being happiness is more important than jewels and everything.
Yes.
Which I mean is again we get into other like conversations and everything.
The whole theme of the show is the spoils of war. And you know, you can see Dooku just hoarded and kept all of the things that he thought was wealthy, and it didn't fulfill him. Obviously, he was still an evil person. Whereas Omega, someone so pure, just gets a kaleidoscope. It's like, this is incredible. Like,
love it. By the way, I love your Omega attempt right there. That was fantastic. It's incredible.
It's Weasties.
Oh, Charlie Ashby. Oi.
Yes, I agree. I had no idea that was him, but that makes sense now.
I was trying to think, like, this voice is so familiar. Who is this? I know this is going to be someone I'm going to go, whoa, that's who that is. But no, Omega's innocence, Omega, like the you know, we've talked to death, I think, about Michelle Ng's performance, which that's my hot take, best performance in Star Wars animation.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about this character that Hector plays? Romar Adele.
Romar Adele.
So whenever this guy first pops up, first of all, you can tell there's definitely a style on Sereno.
Oh, sorry. He looks just like Dooku. I thought it'd be like Dooku's relative or something. The same face structure, kind of square. Yeah.
Well, the mustache and the hair and everything. Oh yeah. Wrecker brought home a new toy this episode too.
That's right.
Hoping Omega doesn't try looking down. Yes, please no. You got to keep those locked away, Wrecker. Okay,
that's right.
Up in a cabinet where she does not have access. That's good parenting.
Yes, I agree.
Wrecker's more the big brother. If we're gonna be honest, Wrecker's more of the big brother than
he's the big brother that lets you drive. He's the one that lets you drive, and you're like,
he's the cool uncle. He's the irresponsible cool uncle.
That's right.
He's like, here, drive my semi truck real quick. Like,
he definitely, he'd be like, want to go shooting? Like, you're like, oh, okay. Want to go shooting? Want to go to the range?
He's the one, like that Avatar meme that's been going around, the picture of one of the bad dudes from Way of Water with the sunglasses on. People like, when this dude's behind the grill, the burgers and dogs are going to be insane. That is Wrecker. I mean, on a more himbo, less.
This is very Wrecker.
But that's Wrecker, but like not as much of a hard ass douche. Like Wrecker has that childlike innocence that really saves him.
God, that's funny.
But anyway,
Romar.
Sorry, we were talking about Romar. And his fantastic fashion choices. I loved his vest. Yeah. But just what was your thought your first thought when he popped up was this is a relative of Dooku?
Well, I thought that, but I also thought this guy's up to no good because his whole town got bombarded, and like I'm like they're putting too much trust in him. Then they all had their blasters drawn. He's like, all right, just come back to my place. I'm like, oh, it's not gonna end up well. Like I really thought like there was gonna be a cliffhanger from this episode till the next one, and I'm glad there wasn't. Right?
Oh wow, no,
hell of a week.
A nice complete story.
Yes, very solid, very well done. But Yeah, so I'm looking at this guy. I love that he is a refugee, he's a survivor of what happened on Sereno, which is brilliant. I'm like, you get to see, and he even mentions like, no, Dooku did this. Like we were mistreated by Dooku. We were, we were his
Yeah, he
people. I'm
stole
like,
from his
oh
people.
God.
That was great. Whenever he's getting trying to get Echo to help him fix
Um.
the
Oh
the archive.
yes.
He's
He's like,
like,
it's
"Oh, a separatist
separatist.
archive," and he goes, "No, Serenian. We were a people before the war."
Yes.
I love it.
God.
I love this concept that because there are people who do not support their
Mhm.
regimes that they're
Not at
under
all.
and everything, right? Like there's planets full. What, like thousands of planets,
Mhm.
potential millions, if not billions, of people on each one.
Yeah.
And you've got this guy who is like, there's several, apparently there's more, like these survivors who are like, hey, listen, we kind of got out of Dodge to
Mhm.
kind of survive this. Dooku did this, we just want y'all to leave. Like,
Mhm.
we just want peace. I was so enamored with this character. I was so
Mhm.
enamored with he felt like a pacifist, but very like not, I don't know, like he didn't feel he wasn't a coward or anything. He was very not the pacifist or coward. Like, I'm a pacifist myself, but like,
Yeah.
um, he felt very brave in his own way and everything. Like, I love when he
Yes.
comes up to Echo. He finds Echo calling him Ace, by the way. He was
Mhm.
calling him
Ace. What a
Ace for some
great name.
Ace, Ace.
Ace.
He's like, I love it. I love it. I
Oh,
hope
so
they like
good.
go back and find him again because I
Yeah.
love this character so much. But he's like, Ace, Ace, what did he say? He's like, I heard blaster fire and thought you could use help. Looks like I
Oh,
was right. I just love
so good.
he's got a little bit of sarcasm, but it's like it's not a douchebag amount of sarcasm. It's like,
No, no.
you sir are a sage that I want to learn from,
I
kind of a
agree.
thing. Yeah.
It's not
Like,
like the Deveronian from last season. Um,
yeah,
the one that made him go in the mine, whatever that episode was, I don't remember.
right.
But like he didn't feel like that kind of an asshole, which was nice.
Right.
Like because there is a fine line, of how you
He's
want to approach certain things, and it was very well done with this one. It
it's
really
it's
was.
a good person. It's another one of those examples in Star Wars of here's a simple person just like you
Yep. Yes.
who does
Yes.
good where they can.
Yep.
Because I'm even looking at the scene right now where he helps Echo up and like
Mhm.
goes over there, like he ties up the rope to the speeder bike to
Mhm.
try to help them out. Like, just he's not a Jedi, he's not a
No.
soldier, he's not
Nope.
any of that. He's just doing the
Not a
best he
crazy
can, and that's
cameo.
eventually what the rebellion is going to be. It's going to
Yep.
be the old people, the young people, all this, just the people who are
Coming
tired.
together. Oh,
Yeah, which is what's so cool about the rebellion, and even ultimately the Citizens Fleet at the end of uh
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, no, I love that he's just kind of like that beginning
Mhm.
of there's
He
more of
sees
us. Like,
people.
listen, those old lines that the society and everything drew around us,
Mhm. Mhm.
separatist, republic, it doesn't matter in the
Mhm.
face of true
Well,
evil.
he sees people in need too. That's the bigger part of this. He
Yes.
just sees someone that needs help, who is hurt, obviously hurt, and I don't know. He was a hero. He was a hero to them. Will we ever see him again? Honestly, I don't really know. We don't need
Maybe
to. At
not.
least to me, we don't really
I
need
hope
to.
so.
Me too. But he fulfilled a huge story, and maybe they'll that guy will be their connect on Sereno as well. There's just a
Yeah.
lot. I really really look forward to seeing how the rest of this season develops, and I think it's going to be a great season just based off these first two episodes alone.
Oh yeah.
Did you want to bring up anything else? By the way, I didn't even ask you.
God, I'm trying to think. Like, we talked about Wrecker using the tank battery and the can, like the
Yep.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
God, not I don't. I mean, not really. Like, look at this is how
Well,
professional we are, guys. I'm going over my
we
my
can
thing
talk
there.
about
Oh,
Rampart.
well, let's
I
talk
wanna
about
talk about
Rampart. Or do you want to talk about Rampart last, or you talk about Wanda
Sure.
Sykes
Oh, Wanda
introduction?
was great.
Because Wanda Sykes
Iconic voice.
introduction, I'm already, so the character's name, I've got it written down as well,
Mhm.
is Fee, and I'm going to say Genoa. It's Genoa, and I'm thinking,
Okay.
because again,
Yeah.
I am Gerry.
Yes.
I'm going to go Genoa. It's so Fee Genoa, and she's a pirate.
Mhm.
And I love her already. Like,
Oh, great
just
character.
well, I mean,
Matter of
Wanda
fact.
Sykes is already charismatic as
Uh-huh.
hell, right?
Yeah.
So you're obviously gonna fall in love, but just that it was such a quick,
Mhm.
we're gonna see more of her this season,
Yeah.
but just such a quick introduction of, oh, hey, you
Well,
guys are clones. Oh yeah.
who is who's the Trandoshan lady? What's her Roz? No, what's her name?
No.
Roz is from
No,
Bounty Hunter.
Sid. Roz is
Sid.
from Monsters
Bounty.
Inc.
Oh,
Sid.
well, also
Sid.
Bounty Hunter. No,
Yes.
Sid was also voiced by Danny DeVito's wife. Damn it, what's her name?
I'm trying
Uh,
to. Sorry, I didn't write that one down.
but it's cool to hear these to have Rhea Perlman. It's cool to have these who was on Cheers. It's cool to have these, ladies being able to come back and play Star Wars roles through animation as well. I mean, we've gotten a lot of that with Book of Boba Fett and with Mando, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rhea
I've
Perlman.
really yeah, Rhea Perlman.
Sorry,
I've
Rhea Perlman.
really enjoyed having these different voices and these different characters show up. And Wanda Sykes is
Yes.
one of those iconic ones over the hedge. I mean, you can name her from a bunch of shows, and like, what a great comedian, what a great sound to her voice. And like, her character model was great. I don't know. It's definitely someone Sid would hang around in that moment where Sid's like, maybe we'll on Ord Mantell, we'll even get ran over at one point. We'll have to
That
wrap up
feels.
operations. I'm like,
I don't
oh,
like that. I don't
I
like
know,
that because
I
she's.
know.
But that's what I love about Bad Batch is it's that slow crawl.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, the Republic were the good guys, but now they're kind of just staying and they're not very nice anymore.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like a switch flipped overnight, and they are like very, very scary.
Oh yeah.
And they're going to planets where they're not supposed to be.
Yep.
Like they have no presence.
Ugh.
It's very it's a, that and to see it through the eyes of the clones again is just again that's why this show just shines so brightly.
I
I love it.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
It's
But
beautiful.
anyway, okay.
Great character.
So,
But
oh,
I
and
guess we
also real
should
quick
end.
before,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know if Alex said this, but there is a white Boba Fett helmet in Sid's office.
There is. It is a
yes.
white Mando helmet, but it looks like a Boba helmet, which is very interesting.
It looks like the prototype Boba helmet, of course. Yes, yes. This is the truest form. Yeah, right. But so okay, so let's talk, I guess, Rampart coming in at the end. Right?
Ruthless.
What a great villain.
But kind of dumb.
He's
I like
very
it.
well, he's very I love that it's immediately like the Empire is like these like all of the hierarchy of the Empire, it's these sniveling dudes who are like assholes who really want they want to secure their power
No matter
and they'll do whatever
what.
they can to keep it, but they're also really cowardly.
Yep.
And like
super
this
cowardly.
this was very cowardly in what he did. It he's like, listen, you can't say anything about the Bad Batch being like this can't be Clone Force 99 because they're supposed to be dead, and if Tarkin finds out, it's going to be my ass. So I need you to do this.
It's like I wonder if that clone commander had his inhibitor chip taken out because they usually have to follow the orders of whoever is talking to them, and that's what made it seem like what happened when Order 66 occurred.
Well,
they just became drones, and we see that in Bad Batch too. But when he's like, "No, I have to give them the full report. Like I'm not gonna fake a report."
I think that's why they're phasing him out so fast. I think that the chip was only to do the killing of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And then they don't question, they are genetically modified to not question orders, but these are also, all of these soldiers spent massive amounts of time with the Jedi who were who treated them like human beings, who gave them stories, who gave them something to look up to, who like, I don't know, like it just like, of course that these soldiers are going to need to, we're going to need to get them the hell out.
Yes, I agree.
And get new guys in who are going to be easy and malleable, because these soldiers are, they'll do orders and stuff, but they're kind of starting to get wise.
Exactly.
I think that's what we're going to be seeing eventually.
But then
we might even see a clone uprising, Scotty, a little one.
Well, that's what I thought we'd see the end of Bad Batch season 1, but I think they might be setting up for that with season 2.
Well, maybe season 2, maybe on down the line. Maybe that's the end game for Bad Batch, however many seasons we go.
This is perfect right here. It is very much tied to Andor in the sense of like no matter what,
Yes.
there will be competition among ranks and like Rampart climbing to the top. It's very slow. And I saw someone made a tweet. I don't know who it was, but it was like who Rampart wants to be. And it's like obviously Thrawn. He just wants to be Thrawn, but he
Yeah.
can't be, and I don't think Thrawn at this point in canon had even, he might be in the very
He's not.
lowest ranks of the
Well, I don't even think
Imperial.
he's there yet. I
Yeah.
don't like this is like what, a year, maybe?
Yeah. After
Not
Revenge of the
even.
Sith.
Not even
That's
a
true.
year. This is like a few months, I
5
think,
months
after Revenge of
after
the
it.
Sith.
Interesting. That's
Or
a good
so.
point. But like you see these characters, this guy having, or this archetype really, if you think about it, of an Imperial, no matter what, is going to try to conquer and is going to try to take over, what we have as an establishment. Just because they were originally designed to follow orders. Look, this is beautiful. Yes. They weren't. And that's the thing. That's a great point, Brian, because no matter what, we're all compassionate people deep down, even if you don't want to show it. And he was like, no, that was the Clone Force. That was 2 members of Clone Force 99. And I'm going
it's
to
like, look,
write that report.
If anything, he's just trying to be a good soldier and say, dude, no. Like,
Good
they're
soldiers
still
follow
alive.
orders.
What are you talking about? They're still alive. Like,
God.
it's not even like trying to go against the Empire at all. It's like, no, they gotta know these dudes are still alive. And for some reason, it makes you wonder. So is that the story that Crosshair gives when he goes back?
Well,
did Crosshair go back?
Mystery. Or if he did go back, did he just say like he woke up and everyone was dead, or what? I mean, did he?
I got
did
a
he
shuttle.
Play a certain card?
I got out on a shuttle or something.
You gotta think he's gonna make it to where his story is still valid. So he can't say he saw them all die. I don't think he's gonna say that. I think he'll just say that he, woke up unconscious and no one was around him, because he assumed they all died on Topeka City, just like the Empire did. Or I don't know. I just, I love it. I know it's silly, but like
it's juicy. No, it's not. Stop saying it's not silly.
There's so much
meat on this bone.
Yep. And we got a whole bunch more episodes. We have like what? Like, isn't it like it's 14 episodes? First 2.
It's something.
So we've got we've got 14 more left. We've got well until Mando March 1st until this show is pretty much done. There's 16
episodes. There's 16. Altogether there are 32 episodes. There will be 32 episodes by when it's all said and done this month.
I've missed long seasons.
I kind of love it too, because with the Clone Wars, I feel like with these animated shows, especially too, you got to give them room to breathe.
Yep.
Right. Like you got to give them room to develop. That's why I think these kind of stick with us a little better than like people will talk all out their ass about, it's filler, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But there are little moments here and there that build slowly to,
I agree,
some of the best moments in Star Wars.
100% agree.
In animation, frankly.
Yep. It's great. It's great.
It's fantastic. We love it.
Why if you watching this? Go watch that.
If you hadn't noticed, we like the Bad Batch.
We really do.
It's better than Andor. Go tell Andor to
best voice acting
to suck monkey butt and
no, you can like Andor and Bad Batch. We're just being silly.
We like it all. We're those assholes. We like it all.
But it appears, Jerry, I want to say this. It appears our horizontal live stream may have been a little bit of a hit. We've had a lot of people, very consistent viewership.
You guys this?
We're thinking next week we're coming back. Episode 3 of season 2. This same exact format. Thinking about it. Thinking about it.
About it.
If you haven't yet, by the way, all the places you can follow us: the Bombadcast on Facebook, the _Bombadcast on Instagram, which we're live at right now. We're still live there. Oh, cool. Bombadcast on Twitter, and of course at the Bombadcast on TikTok. We want to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok soon.
Yes, please,
if we can.
Go right
300 there. If you can. Follow us on TikTok or share our stuff on TikTok.
Go there after this,
because we just want to get more people in our TikToks to hang out and chat with us.
We want more people to join the Bombad fam. We want
and we've got some people this evening.
We've got some new members of the Bombad
Star Wars
fam.
Sublight.
Welcome,
amazing.
Star Wars Sublight. Emma.
Yes.
Let's see. Here we go. We get Emma. Who else have jumped in? And like again,
Yannick,
thanks Alex for
Yannick,
the shout out.
Alex
I guess yes,
with
Yannick.
the
Oh
stream
God,
snipe. We've got
yes.
Thenora. I mean, we've just look at this. Wonderful that
Welcome,
you can
all
all
of you.
join us this evening. I had a blast doing this, and like I said, next week there will be more. Look,
There will
more and
be
more.
there will
There
be
will
more
be more.
batch. Yes,
And
there
of
will be
course,
batch.
we don't just do this show. I can pull up a graphic from a different folder, but it would look terrible. But we have our main show, Bombadcast. You can see it in the corner where
Yeah,
we
you would
talk
see
about big Star
up
Wars
there.
stuff up there. You would normally see it there. But where we have a very special guest coming on next week. We're taking a day off for
Ooh.
tomorrow, our last little holiday. We're gonna get some stuff done. But next very excited for next week. We got Joe Organa. What the dude?
Joe is
Oh my
coming.
god.
Joe is in more ways than one. I'm just
Gonna
kidding. I'm
get
joking. I'm joking, of
sweaty.
course.
It's gonna get
Oh
sweaty.
man.
I
It's
can't
gonna
wait.
Scotty is letting Joe out of the kennel and he's
Yep.
gonna come on screen and it's
Yep.
gonna I mean he's gonna be on screen.
And of
It's gonna be
course,
great. It's
I
gonna
know
be great.
Jerry has some things in the works for Hyperfocus, which is his show, and I've got
Yes.
things for
It is
next week for
coming.
Bombad
It's coming,
Gaming.
baby
No
Reds.
Bombad Gaming tonight because I gotta go back to work tomorrow. I gotta be there with the kids. I want to get
That's a
a
rough
nice
day.
night's sleep. Yeah, it's never an easy
That's a
day. The
rough
first day
day
back
when you
from a
gotta
break.
go back
Oh,
from the
from a
vacation.
break.
Absolutely.
And it's like a mass day, so I gotta play
Seth,
guitar and there's a lot. Oh,
welcome.
Seth's in here. Love Seth. Wonderful, wonderful. But everyone, thank you for joining. We really don't have a proper end of the show. Jerry, I don't know if you want to plug anything that you have going on or what you're looking forward to, or we can just wrap up. I don't know.
Nothing right now. I hope you all watching Willow because Willow has been badass. Like I've been really enjoying Willow. But yeah, no. Follow me at the Canon Junkie. Follow Scotty at the Scotty J-Ro. Follow
That's right.
Bombadcast at Bombadcast on Twitter, and I mean all the socials and all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much, Emma. You've been so sweet.
Emma,
We appreciate
this
you
has been
stopping
wonderful.
by.
Welcome
It
to the
means a
Bombad
lot
fan,
to
Emma.
us.
This is great. New people to hang out, and I
It feels good.
appreciate it. And I do got to say this before we end because William sent a big long message earlier that we didn't really get a chance to bring up. But
Yes, please hide my face with it.
William said, "Yeah, there it is. Just know it's National Trivia Day. Let's take a moment to commemorate Scotty for his jaw-dropping sacrifice to the Bombadcast. December 2nd, 2021. Rip Jared the Dark. Look, it's not just me. Jerry did that
It's
too.
not.
For people that seen, Jerry did that too.
I listen. Yeah, you got to start putting my name on that tombstone as well.
I agree.
Scotty is not the Scotty didn't do the effing KO. Like we both wadded up a
Joint
punch.
effort.
We cooked a punch, both of us together. I'm knocking my stuff off my desk.
Don't knock it onto your laptop.
Knocked him
again.
in the next week. We knocked
Don't
him in on.
that.
We knocked him back to Elfrona.
Yes.
So, but yeah, no,
all that being
don't mess
said,
with the batch. Don't mess. And also, I've won my solo match.
That's true.
By
You
the
did.
way,
I haven't even had a solo
against
match
Buck.
yet.
So
Buck O'Brien, what a king!
Let's just say we are a formidable team. You can't.
We really
beat
are.
Team Bombad. That's all. I'll
Two
say.
of the best. And yes, Seth, we're trying something out. Not every stream, but just for our Wednesday
for a bad
short
batch
or short coverage.
Sessions.
A bad batch. But thank you everyone for joining. And as always, for those that do not know, we have a little tagline we usually end our show with. Jerry, what is that tagline?
That tagline is right here. It's "Stay Bombad." Stay Bombad.